Hello folks and welcome to part 6 of the Black Mesa Speedrun tutorial. Today I'm gonna cover Apprehension and Residue processing. First thing you wanna do, you wanna mount this tram. And what you wanna do, you wanna go on top of its bonnet and activate it from there. You don't wanna stay there, and the reason is, it's easy to get stuck while the tram is falling into the silo coming up. Because the developers made some precautions against people trying to leave early and skip the silo. So speed it up, prepare satchels and shotgun. Once you approach this part, crouch, prepare to the side and jump off. Now about movement in the water, the fastest way to move through water is to just hold forward, W, into all directions, and never hold spacebar, because it's slower. The reason for that is, if you remember, we have always run enabled, and always run affects everything, not just normal walking, but also crouching and swimming. So with always run, we swim at 255, almost 256 units per second. But spacebar is not affected by this. Spacebar is hard-coded to give you speed which is balanced for always run disabled, which is the default in Black Mesa and the only option in Half-Life 2. And so when you use spacebar to get up, you rise at 108 units per second, which is less than half of what you get with just W and looking up. So this might be very hard for some people who are used to it from other games, but never use spacebar in water. Okay, let's continue swimming. There might be some barrels in the way here. You can throw them aside. Okay, and now coming up, there's this slope here, and this bar is in the way of you sliding, and obviously you want to slide up the slope, and you have a couple of ways how to deal with it. My favorite way is to slide up and shoot it with the double-barreled shotgun to preserve momentum. Second way to do it is to mash E to grab it, because you can actually grab it, and that looks something like this. And you'll need to bring it up there, otherwise it will still block you if you drop it. So let's do that one more time. And now that you're up here, in the shark section, you can skip it by just skipping to the left side, and the place where he eats the scientist doesn't have collision. And then the way forward is to open this valve, to open this door, go through, and now here, the exit is there, and you can jump out of the water up there. So setup usually is you approach from here, you swim up, and then you as you're at the apex of the water, you hold D and crouch to grab the railing. So look up and then D and crouch. If you mess up, you can do the same thing from here, but it's a bit harder to aim. Basically, I came up with this setup because it led me to line it up with the corner of the railing there. But the backup works as well. And then you open the door. Ideally, you don't want to grab the crossbow, because later, when you run out of ammo at a certain point, it will auto switch to the crossbow, which can be annoying. And you go here and go into the second map. Second map of Apprehension. Once the door is open, I said once the door open, you want to jump through that with crouch. And here is the walkway section. You can do a corner jump here, and then jump through the electricity, because it doesn't do that much damage. Kill the barnacle, and prepare a satchel. That satchel will boost you to the other side. Now here, there's an option for a sort of harder trick, and for that you need to bring the barrel. But if you don't do the barrel, it's okay. I'll explain the trick later. But let's say you take the barrel, and here is a cutscene where you first have to kill all the enemies, and the way to do it is like that. Do I have an autosave? Yes, I do. One satchel and one SMG grenade, so you throw it, you wait for it you wait for a bit with the satchel to explode it, otherwise it wouldn't kill all of them. And you gotta walk towards the scientists, otherwise you won't start opening the door. And now is the time. Well, ideally you brought the barrel beforehand, and with the barrel you can do a clip there. Basically, here's the cutscene. You can heal a bit, although you don't really need it because we save delete on the next map anyway. And so you want the barrel to be like this. And in the next part there's the freezer, and you can do a clip to skip it. So make a hard save here. Basically, you want to press the barrel against these doors, and that will make the barrel lose collision, because the doors are a moving object. And make sure your flashlight is on, because that will be useful. Press against the door, it loses collision, and you want to crouch here. One Gordon next to the light. And as you can see, once the barrel gained collision back after 4 seconds, the flashlight appeared. And that's how you can tell that you can start save loading to go downwards. And this lineup, it's quite precise because there is this vent right here, which you can save load down into. And now if you just go forwards, there's the level exit. And it's really important that you're at that precise spot, because otherwise you would end up... Well, 2 left in the corner is nowhere, and 2 right is here. Let me actually show you where that leads with no clip. It's this little Easter egg vent with a pizza inside, which I think is funny. So it's gotta be to the left of that light, which is against you. Let me do that again. It's a bit RNG because sometimes there's a head crab in your way, and if that's the case, then you're out of luck. But otherwise, this is quite reliable, unless the barrel just decides to roll away once it gains collision, because that can sometimes happen. I'm there. And if you don't want to do this, then you just jump through the freezer. I'll walk through that as well. Path is through here. Sometimes head crabs can be in your way, so you might want to prepare the shotgun. Jump there, and in the vents you can also bunny hop. And here's the exit into map C. And once in map C, make sure to save delete. Third map of Apprehension is Boost City. So first prepare the shotgun, and we slide through here. And make sure to stay to the right side, so that they don't hit you. Maybe kill that guy if he's in your way. Press the button from down below. And now place 2 satchels. And explode them to skip riding the full length of the elevator. Once you're up here, do a crouching boost. And now the way is to here. To press the button, which opens the doors to the surface. And 1 final boost. And straight in. Hopefully. And that's Apprehension. No reason to watch the cutscene, so join me when I'll get to residue processing. And make sure you don't save delete there. Welcome to residue processing. We're in the crusher, and we can skip it by clipping. And you have 2 ways to do it. First one is to pick up this can right here. And as in Apprehension, if you remember, we're gonna press it against the crusher, because the crusher is moving, to make it lose collision, and after 4 seconds it will regain collision, and you can save load to move downwards through the crusher doors. Like that. Now if you'll notice that the disadvantage of doing it that way is that we skip picking up the crowbar, which means you're forced to do one certain strat in the next bit. The other way you can do it is, instead of that can, you can pick up a bucket. Once again, jump up these boxes. Auto crouch jump is very useful for that. And you go here, and there's the bucket. Now fall down, don't care about fall damage, you have plenty of health. And once the flashlight appears, you know you can save load. It's a bit harder with the can, because the can is so small that the flashlight doesn't change position because it can shine through. With the bucket, I'd say it's easier. But the can is technically faster, but also then you have to do the other strat which comes later, and that one's very risky. But yeah, technically doing it with the can is faster all the way. So now that we're outside, we want to do some sliding on these displacements. Jump around the lake and go up to the silo. Oh. Yeah, you don't want that to happen. That's basically the code to automatically get you out of the water. You don't want to trigger it. In this pipe, you can't really wall strafe unless it's perfectly strafe. So in the corners you have to stop. Coming up here is the part where you can go two different ways, depending on what you want and what you did. So first I'm gonna go the normal way with the crowbar, which is the parkour way, where you go through this normally, but fast. Here is the reason why you have to have the crowbar for this, otherwise you cannot open this. And so the movement through here, in this room, you want to jump at this little piece of catwalk, and from there you can bunny hop on the other side. Here of course the floor falls down, and in this room you can either go the boring way through here, or you can do a jump on top of the railing here. That was too early. It's like a little lineup you can do, and from here you can jump on top of these vats and go into the next map. Now I'll show you the other way you can do this, and you can do this one without the crowbar. So you want to go through here, avoid the barnacles and pick up the barrel. You have to avoid the barnacles because you don't have any way to defend them without a crowbar. And you want to go through the bowels of the facility here into this place. And if you look out the window, you notice that this is the place with the vats in the final room. And the reason we took this barrel is because we can do a prop clip here. Now this prop clip is the reason why I consider this strat to be a bit risky, because of course prop clips are slightly random, and especially here because the geometry is a bit wonky, but there I got it. And once you save load down, you need to get to the exit. Now one way you could go is you could just climb here and do the parkour normally. The other way, since you're down here already, the other way you can do it is you can jump up here from here on top of the forklift. From here, you jump on this little ledge, and now you have to do this little circle jump, which can be a bit tricky for some folks. I've noticed a lot of people fail that. Doesn't feel that hard actually. And you're on to the next map. So in map B, it's nice to save load to get some health. And also if you've done the no crowbar way, you get the crowbar this way. Jump down. Here you can slide up the conveyor belt and you get a bit of speed extra with that. And now some more swimming. So go to the left. Jump through that, it's very narrow. Hold down. And then you want to go inside the rotor here, because it's slightly shorter. And now just swim forwards. Nothing special. And the exit is again to the left. It's a ladder you gotta grab. Probably a good idea to kill that guy. Here are some satchels. You don't really need them, but you can do a cute boost here. Maybe don't set it up so long. And once you press that ladder, you fall down. Make sure you don't stand on top of this. You have to wait a bit back for it to open. If you stand on top of it, it will never open. There's like a trigger there. So you wait back a bit, and once it opens, you can fall down. And here's a second cute boost you can do. And on to map 3, where once again you want to save load to, save delete to get health. Okay, now we're in map C. So open the gate. And you can do, if your movement is good, you can get through these first 2 crushers at the same time. Otherwise, if you just walk, you get through 1. If you do a slide, you can go through 2. There's actually a way to get through all 3, demonstrated by Escape, but that one is really hard. Anyway, now you're in the conveyor maze. And in 0.9, we can skip it very easily by throwing 1 satchel and then getting boosted like that. And usually what we do is we carry the speed a bit further. So what you do is throw down a satchel, wait until it's behind you, detonate, and you go through the light, turn right all the way and go through here. The trip mine shouldn't kill you because it does 50 damage and you have a little bit over 50. And yes, you can jump over it as you saw. That's very precise, basically random. If it damages you, no biggie. The second one here, you want to destroy that one with the revolver. And the hitboxes for the trip mines are weird. Because usually people aim at the tip of the laser, and if you do that, it does nothing. You have to aim at the stalk, at the base of the trip mine, so about there, near the wall. Oh, and even that didn't work. Yeah, the hitboxes for the trip mines are just stupid. There we go. Okay, and this part is actually slightly tricky, because it's easy to hit it and lose a lot of health. And also speed. And yeah, I want to jump for that corner so that you can slide all the way into here. And if you didn't get hit by any of the trip mines, you can just let go of the ladder and fall down. And once you're down here, what you want to do is you want to steer a bit to the right to get extra speed, and that way you can jump across this pool of acid. If you just fall down, then you'd either have to pre-slide really well, or if you just fall down normally, then you have to jump to the side a bit. Yeah, now here's the level transition, and there's a cute little trick you can do. Let me turn on triggers for this. You'll see there's this little cube, and this little cube is actually the level transition trigger. And you can activate it if you jump and crouch, or if you have auto crouch jump, you don't have to press it, just jump. And you save load, and basically one of your hitboxes will get a bit higher than it's supposed to, the abs box, and it will activate this tiny trigger for you. Another thing you can do is you can bring a box and jump on top of it normally, but that thing is props are bad. So what you want to do is you want to line up with this tile, jump and save load, and then you can see the loading screen is long. You will appear on the next map. There you see I'm in BMC2 A4E, which is questionable ethics. Now, 2 things about this. Doing the S-box trick is illegal in the no clipping category, because technically your hitbox clips into the ceiling, so that's illegal. And second thing, if you go forward a bit, let me turn on the triggers again. Here's the level transition trigger, which leads back to the previous map. We're sort of behind it, because normally the transition is on the ladder, and so to return you go down the ladder, but we're past it. And so if you want to continue, what you have to do here is save delete into questionable ethics. But you need the health and the ammo anyway, so it's not a problem. Anyway, that's all it for the tutorial for Apprehension and Residue processing, and next time we'll do questionable ethics, because that one is slightly complex. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.